Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful Wednesday with us on Live with Lloyd. I'm your host and astronumerologist, Lloyd Strayhorn. Welcome to Live with Lloyd, where the joy of learning, or I should say the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. Um, it's, as you see, I'm going to have my very distinguished guest, my good buddy. I would call him my road dog, but the brother's somewhere else right now, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Uh, I've been so blessed to meet so many nice people, and this brother that you're about to meet, Brandon Smith, I consider him like a younger brother, but a brother in every sense of the word, such as his energy. Before we get started, though, in introducing Brandon, let me do the forecast for the day, but let me get to the top. Uh, you know, Please like, share, and subscribe. But you know my philosophy and attitude. It's nice to have a whole lot of numbers, but I'd like to have authentic numbers. So if you really like this presentation each and every week live with Lloyd, please, express it. More importantly, word of mouth is very important. So, if you feel it fits your chemistry, your mindset, your philosophy, and what you're about, and sharing and caring, then please share this with other people and please subscribe. I understand there's a bell. Where that bell is, I don't know, but wherever it is you find it, ring on it and it'll keep you informed. Today is Wednesday, May the 11th of 2022. So it's a master number day, ending in a master number year of 2022. The sun is in Taurus. The moon is in the earth sign of Virgo. It is an 11 universal month. Mercury went retrograde yesterday and will remain in a retrograde position until the 3rd of June. When I have an astrologer on Monday, they will explain what that means. This is a 4 universal week. This is a concept I explained on Clubhouse. It's a concept that I developed. I'm going to wrap that up and then go to something else. Today is a 4 universal day, so it means to take a positive and unique and innovative approach to getting the attention of others. All right, so astrologically, Aquarians, that's me, thank you. Leo, Geminis, and Cancers will do well. Or if you're born on the 2nd or the 4th, the 11th or the 13th, the 20th, like my guest coming on, the 22nd or the 31st of the month, this is your day to do so. All right, I got that done. Now let me do this. Okay, get my buddy on. Alrighty, this is going to be fun for me. And here we go. First of all, thank you very much for joining us. And here's my special buddy, Brandon. How you doing, partner?
Brother Lloyd, I'm doing great.
It is good to see you as always.
Absolutely. I know we've been trying to catch up with each other for a little minute, but
yeah, and you've been rubbing it in because I've been seeing these scenes along the beach lines of Bermuda, the sunny days in Bermuda. I said, yeah, right, okay.
Yeah.
New York, it was cloudy and rainy, so it worked out. How you been?
It was so interesting. The day I got here, the weather was pretty decent in New York when I left, and I got here like the weather had switched up, and a few of my friends was like, "Bro, don't send no pictures, don't go live for a couple days."
It was rainy, cloudy, and overcast for several days, about almost 3-4 days.
But if it's any consolation, I'm having that weather now. So like the last 2 days has been windy and rainy. Today's been raining. Tomorrow's supposed to rain, I think, on the weekend also. So,
but I got a feeling it's a different kind of energy of rain there.
Oh yeah.
In Bermuda than here in the
definitely.
concrete city of New York.
Yeah, I don't mind getting caught outside in the rain. Except for the other night, I was riding my motorcycle with no raincoat. Man, that was no fun.
Really, as long as you got a helmet, that's cool. All right.
Oh yeah, that was fine.
Yeah. So, you said you wanted to do something different in starting off the show, and you wanted to start it off with a meditation.
No, actually, we can finish up. We're gonna finish up with that.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, especially with this full moon that we have coming up. This is considered one the most powerful actually of the full moons. This is known as, in the Buddhist tradition, the Wesak festival. So this is a really good time for you to harness the energy of the full moon through your meditation, your spiritual practices, getting involved in like inner purifications, character development, and all that kind of things. So this is a really good time to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
and as well as next week.
True, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
on
it's on
Sunday.
the 16th.
Yeah, what is going Sunday night going into Monday? I believe it's going to be like 12:14 a.m. Monday morning.
Okay, good. So emotions always run free when the moon is full. That much is sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Now you're going to be doing some things, and the nice thing about it is you're going to be reading people. Um, I think when you were on the last time, I kind of asked how you got started because there's a lot of things you do. You do healing work. You
yeah.
are a minister. You are an organist. You're into wellness. I mean, how did a person with 3 or 4 generations of ministers, father, grandfather, great grandfather, how did you wind up doing the kind of work you do and still minister?
For me, it just seems organic. It makes sense. I've always going back to about 4 years old. I remember having dreams that were just considered weird, odd, and unusual, like meditative practices. I had visions of like seeing you meditating and almost like this green water, and like the body was being healed. And these are dreams I was having at 4 years old. And so, fast forward to 2014, I was in Brooklyn at the church I was working at. And that's when I met Jeff Noble and, the Pranic healing. And that's really how I got into it. And it was through Jeff that you and I connected. And when we met and you did the reading for me, I said, man, I need to go and talk to this brother for real. And, it's just it's evolved ever
No,
since.
we've been tight ever since. We've been
Yeah,
tight ever since then, you know. So it's nice to get and Jeff and I've been knowing each other about at least over 30 years. We
yeah,
traveled together, did lectures in Houston and other parts of the country. So it's like it's real nice when you develop meaningful relationships. You know what I'm saying? But
absolutely.
you have now evolved into what you've done. You authored a book, which we're going to talk about later. I think you may have some other works in the works too. If I'm
Yeah, there's actually a lot going on. So when we first got together, I was pranic healing, I was becoming numerologist, and that really just took off in terms of spiritual development, looking at a lot of esoteric teachings and
Mhm.
philosophy. So there's going to be an interesting course on how to make sense of esoteric studies and religious studies. So that's really going to be an interesting one.
Now you're into healing. Can you tell us about your healing practice and what is the process of healing?
So
For
I
those
study
that just know the word but really don't understand what you're saying when you said you're a healer.
Yes. So I study a system called Pranic healing. It was developed out of the Philippines by man by the name Grandmaster Chawa Kaksui. His birthday is August the 15th. And
Mhm.
so he was an engineer by trade and studied a lot of esoteric studies from a young age, and ended up basically combining the best of multiple modalities, and using his abilities and his mind as an engineer. He created the system of pranic healing, which is very similar to Reiki, where we're able to test measure the chakras, we're able to clean the chakras and energize them. Um, Whereas the Reiki system, I believe they operate on like a 7 to 9 chakra system. Pranic healing has an 11 chakra system, and then it's just a lot more in detail. So
Mhm.
it literally works on everything from well, let me rephrase that. It provides energetic support on everything from common aches and pains like house colds to flus. I have patients that I'm working on with cancer, more terminal illnesses. Then it also works on the psychological issues. I have several clients that are dealing with like recovery from drug addictions, depression, anxiety, and things like that. And so being able to work with the energy, that it gives you another option or different choices in terms of taking like health back into your own hands.
That I like because we do have a very large degree of control of our health and bodies than you would think other people would give us credit for.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it is organic, and it's interesting because most of the things that Mother Nature provide is organic. It is non-toxic, and all we got to do is just follow the dietary laws of nature, uh,
Yes.
and uh, and half the battle. And I have seen and heard of so many people that have turned their lives around just by going organic. In fact, the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, once had diabetes. He had a couple of things, and then he said once he got into more organic and dietary laws, all of that
Mhm.
disappeared. He even got his mother on it, and she became better. You know,
Absolutely.
so
And so what I'm doing is offering the energetic perspective. So when we look at health and healing, a lot of times we only focus on what it is that we're eating, our dietary things, but there's also energy that's involved. So let's say if a person, they're eating good, but then they don't have good thinking habits, or they holding on to anger or resentment or whatever different emotional things, those also cause dis-ease in the body. And according to like a lot of the Asian philosophy, like our organs actually store certain energy. So anger gets stored in the liver, grief gets stored in the lungs, the stomach stores fear. So all these different organs can be affected. So when we look at health and healing, it's not just about what we're physically putting in our body, but also what's going on in our body energetically, emotionally, psychologically. So we look at how to create a comprehensive package that's complementary to what it is you're doing with your regular medical providers and things of that nature.
You know what's interesting, Brandon, because just last week there was some report that medically they found that when patients came into the hospitals very sick, overwhelming majority of them psychologically had anger issues.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a book I often talk about called How to Live 365 Days a Year, because they had the concept of EII, emotionally induced illnesses, that a lot of
Absolutely.
the manifestations of our physical illnesses has a lot to do with our emotional connections of holding in anger, hate, jealousy, envy, things like
Absolutely.
that. So
Yeah, and
um,
even our mental health, that can lead us to physical health. So a prime example I could think of was, I knew of a person who almost always kept saying, I'm afraid that I'm gonna get I believe it was like Alzheimer's or dementia or something along those lines,
hmm.
and because I believe her mother had it, and literally maybe within 6 months to a year, she was in the same nursing facility with her mother because she had dementia. And so she literally feared herself into it. And there's because of who I am and studying scriptures, that's actually biblical.
Such
Um
as, can you give us an example?
yeah, there's this character by the name of Job that we all know about. Job
Oh
is
yes, Job. Hmm.
so there's this passage in that book where it says, the thing that I've feared most greatly has come upon me. And so what it tells us is that we've got to look at what our mental health is, because if you constantly fixate on that one particular thing, it's almost like the law of attraction, where it now magnetizes itself towards you.
So thoughts are really things more than people know.
Oh yeah, thought and esoteric teachings, thoughts are really thought forms, and they're living entities, and they begin to have consciousness. And so the words, it then becomes concretized based on what we're thinking.
Isn't there a famous book called As a Man Thinketh?
So is he. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. In the passage, yeah, there's
yeah.
talks
As
about
a
that.
man
As a
thinketh.
man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it means that people better start being nice to each other. Okay.
Yeah,
I know that
exactly.
sounds silly and say, you know what I'm saying, but in light of that, and the interesting part is, uh, Brandon, it doesn't cost nothing to be nice to people.
Not at all.
You
You
know,
know that
that's how I
loving,
teach my kids.
yeah,
Go ahead.
practicing loving kindness, it eliminates stress from the body.
Even a
If
hug releases and increases the endorphins. I
yeah,
mean, little things.
exactly. And they say that it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. Yeah,
Yep.
I forget the number of muscles that it takes, but it's I know there's a significantly less number of muscles required to smile than there is to frown. And
Yeah.
so
And you got to
you
look
just
ugly. You know, there's a
yeah,
difference between looking ugly. So.
exactly. So yeah, so that's really what I do. And then in terms of how I combine it all as a numerologist, let's say if I have a client whose their birthday is I'll use me for example, 1020.
Hmm.
There's certain, like as I'm going through the consultation, there are certain indicators that I can look for health wise, or even I'll look at the name. And because we understand, like our name is what we consider our lessons in life, and then I mean the birthday is the lessons, and our name
Hmm.
is the teacher. Then it could suggest to me that wherever I see some health indicators, whether it's in the birthday or it's in the names, it could indicate whether it's karmically related, whether it's a predisposition that you have. We'll get into like what are all the different health concerns of each number as we go on.
Okay. And
Yeah.
before we open it up so people can, because there's a list building of people that want to know what's going on with their birthdays.
Mhm.
You have a couple that's getting married soon. Can you explain that?
Actually, they just got married last week.
Oh,
So,
that's okay.
yeah. So, best friend of mine from we've been friends for actually 21 years. So check it out. We've been friends for
Was that a
21
picture
years.
you I saw of him in the Instagram?
Yes, that was our high school graduation.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So, we've been friends for 21 years. They were supposed to get married last year, but then with COVID and everything had kind of shut everything down. And I
Hmm.
was like, based on their numbers, they his birthday was January the 3rd. Her birthday was March the 8th. So his numbers would be the 3, the 8, and the 6. Her numbers was the 8, the 3, and the 6. And so I was like, well, let's just kind of look to see what's the most important day or the day that we can share. I mean, all of them really were because they both had the same numbers. But
Sure.
her grandmother's birthday was also on May 6th, and she would have been 99 years old. And
Whoa.
so I was like, you know what? That's the day you're going to use. Let's pick a time. 3:30 works for me. It adds up to a 6. And so it was literally it was a traditional wedding. We were in the church. It was at my father's church. He and I both did the ceremony together, but there are
Wow.
elements of the metaphysics that I brought in. So I did like a salt agreement where they both exchanged salt and explained what was the significance behind salt. We did some sand agreements where they poured different color sands and actually put different gemstones like rose quartz, clear quartz. So the wedding, while it was traditional, was very much outside of the box. We used literally metaphysics down to planning, time, all of that kind of stuff. We were looking at one particular location, and I was like, I don't really think this is going to work out based on what the numbers were suggesting.
Hmm.
And it ended up being a really great day. They were stressing, man, like crazy. They were like, everything's going to fall apart. This person's getting on my nerves. This person's getting on my nerves. And I was like, hey, listen, just trust me. Trust the Rev. If you
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? If you don't trust your friend, trust the Rev.
You're
Because
right. Right.
everything's going to be all right, man. And literally everything worked out. And it was
I
a
know they must have had a big smile on their face by the end of the day.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They
Yeah.
don't even, I don't even. I think they'll realize it in about 10 to 20 years of how blessed that union was that day with all the metaphysics that was going in there and the energy and what happened after as a result of that. Maybe 2 or 3 people walked up to me and they say, "Hey, I'm getting married in a year, 2 years. I need to get your information because I want everything you did. I want that in mine." So I was like, "Well, we're gonna have to sit out, play. Let's look at the numbers, and we'll do it."
And I
So.
tell you, I myself personally have an amazing record over the number of years of setting wedding dates, and to this day, they are still together.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah,
still together. But
yeah,
that's how you do it when there's a cosmic alignment too. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So that's a perfect example.
yeah.
All right, let's turn this over to the people who are
Yeah, let's
visiting.
do it.
Yep, 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 yep. So we're gonna start with okay, Oracle says love and peace. And Stephen Williams says greetings to both of us. And he is from Chi Town. All righty. All
I've
right. Let's,
had,
huh?
but Lord, I've had 2 clients. I don't know who they like, how they found me. They but called me out of Chicago in the
Really?
last
Well,
in the last week. In the last week.
well, see, the nice thing about what we do, it goes all over the planet. So you never
Yeah,
know where we're going to get calls from,
yeah.
man.
And
So,
interesting. It's about. I think in this, they're both for healing. So it's is like the timing that we're doing this tonight. Man, this is perfect.
okay, here we got somebody. This is going to be our first one. Okay. And it is, I'm going to shift it over to you so it has your undivided attention. And they are born on the 3rd of June of 1975.
Got you. So what I do, just in terms of how I want to do it tonight, is just look at what are some of the health indicators that could possibly run with this particular birthday.
Okay.
And it's just using numerology. Lloyd, you're the expert when it comes down to figuring out the astrological connections, and so we'll bounce off of each other on that. But
Okay.
when I'm looking at, let me see her the name.
It's Corius Hollis.
Corias Hollis. Okay, being born on the 3rd, the 3 rules the skin, the feet, the kidneys. The 3 is also associated with inflamed nerves or overstrained nerves. So it'll be important to be mindful of your skin, whether that's being in too much sunlight or what you're putting on your skin. Our skin is our biggest organ, and so um, it actually absorbs a lot of toxins, a lot of well, actually, whatever we put in, and it happens very quickly. So something that's good would be like, say, if you're into using essential oils is a good replacement for like the traditional perfumes and things that have chemicals on it. They
Mm-hmm.
actually are much better for us. And then you can, I mean, there are thousands and thousands of blends of oils that you could use for therapeutic purposes, mixing it with carrier oils that will give you that good scent as well as the therapeutic benefits. The three also, because it's a talker, can tends to suffer from sore throats or maybe issues with the throats, um, or arthritis. So that's on one particular aspect of the three. But then that's like the physical health. As we're looking at what are some of the maybe the psychological or emotional concerns, there's usually issues like around jealousy, self-acceptance. They can be kind of ill-tempered or quick to go off, especially at the mouth. You know, they'll tell you how they feel quick, fast, and in a hurry, and then maybe we'll think about it later.
Yeah, then they're hold up. Let me do it like this. Sorry about that. Yeah, they're never shy at words. That's the one thing about threes.
Yeah, never, never. And then also jealousy can be an issue. So it's these emotional things can also contribute to the health. For this person, I would suggest to just be mindful of any health challenges that may arise in the month of February, June, August, or September. Um, or let's say if she's going in a 5 cycle. Let me see what cycle, because I didn't do that much. Okay, so she's in a six personal year.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, well, the way that I'm looking at it, she's actually in a 5 year until she gets to her birthday, in June of this year of 2020. And so with that being said, she should be mindful of her health this year. Well, I also would say the best medicine would be fresh air, overboard overworking and overstrained nerves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, get some good exercise and spend some time in the sunlight.
Good. And you know it's interesting too. Threes in addition rules emotional upsets and panic attacks
Yes.
too. They go through that. Okay, so let's go with this person here. This is Lightbird. She is born on January the 20th. And she says, "Hey, Reverend Brandon Smith." So she sounds like she knows you a bit. She's out of
Um,
Florida.
I'm not sure, but hey. So we got oh, okay, so she's a two. So the two, it rules the digestive system. I know the two very well. That's my number there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the two, as a general rule, looks it rules the digestive system. Also rules growth. So whether that's tumors, ulcers, diabetes, cancers, and for women there can be issues, and even for men there could be issues with the reproductive organs.
Mm-hmm.
The number two, what I've also discovered is because it's a water number, it can also be susceptible to emotional conflicts, which can usually arise up from not speaking up from yourself, um, to almost being like self-centered and not thinking of others and not working well with others. The
Mm-hmm.
two, the two also has this ability to hold on to emotions and not let go of things. And so I want to be mindful of what
But
I'm
in other
saying.
words,
Is
it
I'm not
makes
saying.
a buildup. That's what you're saying if it's not expressed.
Yes, exactly. And what happens, Lloyd, in terms of an energetic understanding of different illnesses, and I want to be careful that I'm not saying that this causes an illness or these causes illness, but what it does is it creates an energy that can become an illness. So
Mm-hmm.
when we hold on to things like constantly, or we're not able to express them or to release it, it causes an energy of cancer. So it's literally like what happens is we bury something on the inside of us, and then it basically eats us from the inside out. And that's a similar energy that cancer brings along with it.
Okay, hold up. Let me do this. And I do want to say while we're both here, a lot of times when people talk about health, they talk about, well, this go, to make a distinction between the AMA, the American Health Association, and stuff like that. But you got to understand, folks, what Brandon and I and other people in our craft does, that these are ancient African sciences. These have always been way before the AMA got here. Okay, way before FDA got here, way before the CDC got here. These have always been in ancient writings. That if you were born on this month, this day, it would lean toward this, that, or the other. Way before it came on, this has no conflict in my mind with the medical association or things like that. I mean, you can get a book 200 years old. They will tell you that if it's a two, it's the stomach. Now, the American Association is not that old in that sense. So what I'm
No.
saying is these are ancient African sciences. For those that say, well, aren't they going against the medicine? No, no. I'm just saying, and in fact, this helps a patient when they go to their doctor to understand better. Actually, if you do that, so there is no conflict in my mind. There
No.
is no taking away from AMA or anything like that. But to understand these descriptions of health tendencies toward the zodiac signs, toward the numbers, have long been here. Okay, in the United States, and the health society has our new kids on the block. Trust me. Okay,
And
I
then
just want to make that clear, so nobody don't be looking in your face, man. All
yeah,
right.
exactly. And then further, and plus, I always let people know I'm not a medical professional. I'm
Yeah,
an alternative medicine practitioner. Always consult your physician, and
of
whatever it is
course.
that you got to do. But I'm just letting what I know, what we've studied, and what we learned. And then
Yeah.
these things, they don't say that it's going to happen. So there could be just because your numbers suggest that you could be predisposed to certain conditions. Maybe you're doing well in terms of your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health. You got a good diet and all that kind of stuff. You don't
Hmm.
have these health concerns. Thank God. That's what it is. It just says that if you're not in that proper alignment in terms of your mind, body, and spirit, then these are some of the potential things that could
That's
go.
all it is. That's all it is. It gives leanings or clues toward those things. In fact, it is in health situations that, let's say somebody says they were not sure whether they were born on this day or born on that day. One of the first vehicles I use is a health description. If it leans more toward this side, if you got this, it's more leaning toward that, and they'll say, yes, that's true, or
Yep,
whatever the case is. So again, this has no conflict with the medical society as far as I'm concerned, as these are ancient descriptions, and these books was written and described way before these medical associations came on the scene. That's all I'm
absolutely.
saying.
And the
Okay.
last thing I want to say for Lightbird is that she's actually in a 9 personal year, and so she would just want to be mindful because this was considered would be one of the opposition numbers. So just be
Hmm.
mindful in terms of argumentative people, because this is that emotional an emotional nature or emotional number. So you want to make sure that emotionally you have a sense of balance. Your best medicine would be fresh fruits, water, fruits and vegetables that are really high in water content. If you can take some time to go sit near the water, even if you don't get near it, just sit near it and listen to it, do your meditations by the water. That'll be some of the best medicines for you.
And I'd like to add to the health component, since she's in a 9 personal year, which we know is ruled by the element of fire. She therefore would have to be mindful of nicks, cuts, inflammations, fender benders, little things like that. All these are indications of definitions that come from the zodiac signs and the numbers since way back in the day. Okay,
Yes.
that's all we saying. That's all we
Yeah.
saying. Ain't trying to go against nobody up in here. So please, y'all, calm down. Y'all gonna be
That's
all right.
it.
Y'all be all
That's
right.
it. That's it.
Yeah, y'all gonna be all right. Anyway, Sylvia Brown. Um,
Another
she's
two.
on November 29th. Another two person.
Okay. So now this combination of two is slightly different from the 20.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we have a water number and a fire number. So is this again would suggest talk about dealing with the digestive system, but then also I would look at what are some of the tendencies that deals with the 9. Like you said, talking about accident prone cuts and bruises, things like that. I would
Hmm.
look out for hot water, so maybe like cooking on the stove, boiling water, and things like that. Um, Also, like fevers, chicken pox, things along those natures. Um, Maybe even the bladder and the kidneys. So those are some of the things that could, in terms of like health concerns, I would look out for in the months of, let's see, January, April, and November. Yeah, January, April, November, and
Mm-hmm.
then this year she's in a eight personal year. So this would you want to be mindful in terms of your watching your fluids going in.
Can you
Like
check that again about our cycle, please?
said, yep, that's why you're the man, brother Lloyd.
No, well, that's why we look out for each other, Brandon.
She's in a one. That's it. She's in a
Yeah,
one personal year.
thank you.
Okay, so and then that's here's. I'm glad that you made me do that, brother Lloyd, because what this does is also help me to think of something I was remember something I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do our numbers indicate different health indicators, but also that cycle that we're going through.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly,
So,
Brandon.
so in the one cycle, this deals the one rule is the eyes, the blood pressure, the back, um, the liver, the heart, blood circulation, things of that nature. She should be mindful of her health in January, this month of May,
Mm-hmm.
as well
Mm-hmm.
as October.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then on a more emotional, psychological perspective, so you want to make sure that there's balance between work and play, between work and resting, because the number one is a very self-sufficient energy, and it'll go. And because it has that external stamina, sometimes there could be a tendency to forget about the internal drive. And so we're literally burning the candle at both ends of the stick. And one day the body's going to say, hey, you know what? We're just going to take a break, even though you want to keep working.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not to rub it in, but believe it or not, you got another two person. Listen, we can't make this up. And
Exactly. Let me see. Now let me
it's a different energy. See, this is what people don't understand.
yeah,
Yes, they're all twos, but one was an air sign, one was a fire sign. So go ahead,
exactly.
man.
So with this one, let me see here. We have what's that birthday? 529.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a Gemini 2.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an air sign with a water number. Okay.
Perfect.
Um, let me see where we are.
And by the way, a couple of names up. A good brother of ours, Brother Rebels Bay, said hi to us. So
Yes, brother Francis.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So this year, she's actually in a 13 or four personal year.
Mm-hmm.
So this year deals with odd and unusual illnesses. Um, if there are any health challenges, maybe they could be like difficult to diagnose, or you may have to go from one doctor to get a second opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And based on how you taught me, Lloyd, when under this particular number, if you got to get that second opinion, don't tell the second doctor what the first doctor said. And
Mm-hmm.
then if the second doctor gets something different, this is kind of how I've talked with my clients. If the second doctor gives you something different from the first doctor and it doesn't seem right, then go get a third opinion.
Yeah,
You
you got
want,
options. You
yeah,
got options.
yeah, you want to be able to see. Um, Also, the under this cycle, she may be interested in like alternative kind of medicines or odd and unusual kind of treatments. So whether it's
True.
like what I do, pranic healing or energy medicine, NLP, hypnosis, um, um, what do you call it? Like the acupuncture and acupressure,
Yeah,
all these
yeah,
these
yeah.
different kind of modalities. These are some of the things that she could possibly be interested in. But this definitely would suggest again the dietary system. Um, Even in terms of the respiratory, I mean, reproductive area, be careful of asthma, insomnia. What I've learned, Brother Lloyd, about the number four, when according to like Indian numerology,
Mm-hmm.
especially associated with the respiratory system and issues that lead to like breathlessness or coughs and colds. And it's interesting with 2020, we had this worldwide pandemic, which the main organ that was attacked was the respiratory system. So I thought that was
Because
pretty
it makes
interesting.
sense because it's in 2020 added to a four, and four is ruled by the element of
Right
air.
there. Yeah,
So the
absolutely.
air apparatus of the body happens to be the lungs.
Yeah. I would just say to just be mindful in terms of where you are. A lot of folks are just kind of interested in getting back to not wearing masks, and I mean it's all cool, whatever your preference is, but just be mindful that COVID is still COVIDing.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And of course, our buddy said hi to us, King Simon. Peace to the
Please, brother King.
family.
Yes.
Peace to him too. Okay. Well, we do have a change. This person, Candy Dowell, she's
Okay.
born on the 15th of March of 83 out of Dayton, Ohio. So
Okay,
what say you about this young lady?
so she is a six person. The six usually deals with issues around the nose, the throat, the lungs, upper respiratory system, the heart, the blood circulation, like cold, flu, sinuses, things like that, asthma. Those can be issues that kind of go along without through life. With issues that could also be with women, sorry, there could also be sensitivities or issues concerning the breast. This year, she is in a six personal year. So because she is a six, this tells me this year be a good year for her, but she would want to be mindful in terms of just taking care of her respiratory system,
Mm-hmm.
um, watching out for her health in the months of January, February, and April. Um, and I usually say that the best medicine for the sixes, because they love beauty, is to go outside in nature, be around nature. Whether you got to take some walks, whether you've got to go just on a scenic drive or something like that. Also, going back to school in some kind of way. So, learning about maybe aromatherapy or different types of therapies that you could do, breath work and things of that nature. And then actually go through therapy, counseling to be able to deal with the mental and emotional imbalances that may be going on.
Okay, very good, very good. Let's see, we got this person here, Kim. She is born out of Houston, Texas on October the 28th of 83.
Okay, so this is a Scorpio one.
Yes.
So the eyes, yeah, the eyes are usually issues with one energies. So usually from like exposure from bright light, or there could be different things like astigmatisms. Um, and I actually found out to be true for myself. I When I started wearing glasses, I did the math. I was in a 1 year and it was having astigmatism. So the heart, blood pressure, heart palpitations, the spine or the back, or maybe like head. So whether it could be headaches or things of that nature. Um, Also, there could be issues pertaining to like heart trouble or things like that. So you want to be mindful of cardiovascular health. You want to be mindful of your eyes. You want to be mindful. Um, Now, as a general rule, let me say this: that ones usually have very strong vitality, and so usually they don't find themselves on the end of being sick that often. But when they do, is usually a command to say, hey, you got to take care of self, like to stop putting all of your energy out there and learn to go come within.
Hmm. Now, this person is in an, I see she is in an 8 personal year, October the 28th. Would that give you an additional clue, if anything, to this person?
um
October 28th?
so the eight deals with, well, the two things that the eight and the one have in common is the liver. So that could be something with the blood, maybe blood pressure,
Yeah.
or be mindful of, like, say, eating out, so like food poisoning or things of that nature. Um also this year would be a good time if she doesn't have, say, like a semi-vegetarian or semi, I don't call it a diet. I can't remember who you had on one night, but he talked about renutrition. I believe it was
That
Hank
was Brother
Rasmussen.
Phil Valentine. He was
Yeah,
talking
brother.
how
Yes,
they had
yes,
DIE and then a T to it, like the cross,
yes, exactly.
at a funeral. Very
Yeah.
tight.
And so ever since then, I've changed my whole language, and so I don't call them diets, and I don't even call it like renutritioning. I call it a semi-vegetarian living plan. So
Ah,
we want to put
ah,
food in our
okay.
bodies that's going to encourage us to live. So that's living foods, whole foods, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the 8 year also is a good time to connect to the roots. So whether that's earth foods or foods that are rooty, like your beets and potatoes and things of that nature. A lot of the fruits and vegetables that come out of the ground. Hiking, anything that's going to allow you to be in earth and to be grounded. That'll really help to offset um, any health challenges, and as
Okay.
well as any kind of mental health, laziness, procrastination, and things like that. Just go outside and do something.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, let's see. There's a gentleman that is born on This is, hold on. What did this lady says? Oh, the comment for what you read for Kim was, "Thank you, right on. I'm health conscious and eating fresh. Thank you," she says. Okay, so then
Yeah.
you got the
You know, Brother
feedback.
Lloyd, that's the thing with 2022 it came in, it brought about an energy of health consciousness for everyone across the board. You know, I don't think it's no surprise, you know, it's no coincidence where they're talking about the whole food shortages and all that stuff based on the war in Ukraine. Like, you know, I don't mean to insult anyone, but you know, humans are not that smart. We're not able to orchestrate something along those lines where we can cause the world to go through a consciousness change but off of one event. So you know,
I agree.
there's got to be something bigger than us that's saying, you know, it is time for us to start to move in a different direction.
I agree. This person is YG2. They said they were born on the 6th of December in Rome, Italy, at 10:31 a.m. They says, "Can you give them a general, please?"
Okay. So they're in a 14 year, five personal years. So this year could be about some changes, being in the public movement. And actually that's going to
Um,
be,
can I ask you a question?
yes.
You said they're in a 5 personal year,
Yeah, because their birthday is at the end of the year. So the
right?
way that I kind of do these calculations, and how it started, I actually read a mother and daughter whose birthday was like December 25th.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so when I did the calculations, I was like, okay, so that's going to put them. I think it was at what was that? It's been so long, and I've done so many numbers. Uh, yeah, so they would have been in a 7 personal year
Yeah.
for 2022.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm sitting there thinking about it, I'm like, well, wait a minute. Their birthday isn't until the end of the year. So that means technically in 2021, when it was their birthday, right before 2022 hit, they went into that they went into the 6 personal year. And the 7 personal year wasn't going to start for them until the end of 2022. So that was some of how I looked at it.
That's like a person, would you say, born December the 31st, the last day of the year?
Yeah. So they've essentially
They're
so
always kind of. Are you saying they would always be? That's interesting in the research. That's why in teaching all the students to say there's always room to develop concepts and ideas, and you test it. You test it.
yeah.
So I'm
And what
saying
I
a 6, you say a 5, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, she's traveling to a 6, but this
Ah,
well,
okay.
this person, sorry, I don't want to say just assume it's a she, but they're traveling to a 6. But in this where they're at right now, they're in a 5 personal year. So this is about making some changes, um, maybe about the nervous system. This person is a 6. Am I correct? Yeah.
Yes, that's
Again,
correct.
this deals with like the upper respiratory system, the sinuses, allergies, and things like that.
Hmm.
They would find that their best medicine in this year would be getting good proper rest, meditation, good diet, um, having a sense of balance. So knowing when to be able to have a good time, when to kind of chill out. This is a year that's very stimulating, so you want to overindulge this year. One of the things about some of our practices and overindulgent is that it can weaken our immune system, especially in the areas of like drinks and drugs and
Sure,
things of that nature,
sure, sure.
and even not resting. So when we're constantly going, our immune system gets weaker. So we want to make sure that you have that proper rest, but then also moving. So whether you're going to do some dancing, whether have a good time, do some traveling, take a vacation, something like that, that'll be really good medicine this year.
So in the case of this December the 6th, right? And
Mhm.
so technically, from your concepts or ideas of looking, they're still in the 5 personal year leading up to December the 6th.
Yeah.
Did you read a health tendency in that 5 cycle, which is described in ancient books about the nature of a 5,
So
such as the nerves, the hands, the arms, the shoulders, things like that, maybe?
Yeah, so the 5 deals with like the speech. So that could be whether it's speech impediment,
Hmm.
stuttering, things of that nature, the
Hmm.
nervous system, memory, paralysis. It also because it also deals with the lungs because it's an air number. Also can deals with mental breakdowns and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good enough. Good enough. Just we researchers. You know how we roll.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, not that I'm not saying it's just, but I think it's nice that we check and balance each other because I might have an off day too. Where I say something, you might text say no stray. That's that's the wrong number.
Yeah.
I have no problems. I am human and I will make my mistakes. So I've learned how to deal with that.
And for
Okay,
me, it's all about learning. I got
yeah.
one piece of paper where I'm doing our calculations, but if I hear something, I'm gonna write it down in this other piece.
And it's so interesting because you had just mentioned the instance of a mother born December 25th, and here's one.
Look at that.
What would you say to her?
So what I would say to her is that this year is she's currently in a sixth personal year. So
Until
this
she reaches December 25th. That's what you're saying.
yes.
Okay.
So now the interesting thing is that this is going to be a time where she's going to maybe think about making some changes to her health, maybe making some changes to maybe like her personal appearance. Maybe she wants to go to take like a exercise class, yoga class, fitness class, something along those lines. Something about representing herself to the world, or rebranding herself in some kind of way. Um, because she's a seven, the seven deals with more like nervousness, anxiety, worry. The seven can deal with skin problems, as well as night sweats and minor stomach issues. But in this sixth year, she would want to be mindful of her allergies, maybe sinuses, things like that. Um, and what she'll find next year is it's really going to be a time where she's really going to be reflecting and thinking about the health changes that she's making. Maybe she like, what, she might want to take a course, whether it's culinary work, maybe it's something about coaching, mental health coaching, or something along those lines.
Okay. It's interesting because this woman, Crystal, is an earth sign with a water number, and Tiffany right behind her is a earth sign with a water number. So here's what those of us like Simons and the others that studied numerology. Now your numbers, Brandon, are the 2, 7, and 6. Notice how many twos are getting through, and sevens are getting through, and sixes are getting through.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm not picking them to say,
yeah. We've
so
had,
and so. I'm just,
out of all the numbers, we've only had one that was a 3.
yeah, nothing personal.
Everything
And
else is 2 sevens.
and
Yeah.
what's so interesting, the next person up is a 3.
Lord,
Well,
you want to hear funny? I went and did a reading yesterday with one of my friends, and I was emailing Brother Francis like I was telling you. And I was like, hey, listen, Brother Francis, I think someone's going to be there at the reading. I could see these eyes just watching me do the reading. And I sent him the email. It was 10:11 a.m. And we know that adds up to a 3.
yeah.
So when I get down to the house and do the reading, and I could see the young lady sitting there. She had on this green jacket. In meditation, I saw these green lights floating around. So I'm like, all right, there's just some weird stuff going on here. And I was like, what's your birthday? And she said January the 3rd, same exact birthday as my best friend whose wedding I had did last week.
Yeah, yeah. You just can't make stuff like this up, man.
You
Let
can't.
us not leave Tiffany out, okay? What
Yes,
about her?
absolutely.
She says
So,
beauty marks and healing arts. That's interesting, her field. So what about Tiffany?
so I think that Tiffany would probably be one who studies and has mastered healing or is learning healing in some way, shape, or form. Um, I didn't do that in the numbers that just came through. Um, so she is a 7. Health wise, again, this deals with like nervousness, what we just talked about, the stomach in some kind of way, um, more of anxiety. Um, yeah, I think that's even the more of an energy that I'm feeling. It's more along those lines of like nervousness. Um, One of the things I would say to her, and okay, Brother Lord, it's happening where like spirit starts talking to me, is that
Yeah.
her best medicine is going to be this year to trust herself.
Okay. That
Um,
makes sense.
yeah, this year she's going to, let me see what cycle she in.
Well, she should now be in a cycle year.
Yes. Is she just see, she's in a nine personal year? Did I do that
Yes,
right?
she is. Yes,
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah.
And that means, according to your concepts, she has been in an 8 personal year up until her birthday just last week on the 7th of May. Would that be
Yeah.
correct in your
Yeah.
assumption?
Yeah, that's correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
So
So
now she's officially, from your concept, now in a 9 personal year.
yeah,
Okay, got
absolutely.
you. Got you. We're on the
Now
same page.
now because the nine it's not a direct opposition number to the seven, but it has some opposition to it. It's not like that. It's not like we'll fight whenever I see you, but it's, you know, I give you that funny look whenever we cross each other in the hallway kind of energy between the seven and the nine. Um,
I feel you. I feel
yeah.
you. My face not quite feeling that. Okay.
Yeah. So this would be one of those years to really be mindful of interactions with others. Um, this is also going to be a year that I got a feeling that she's going to have some heightened spiritual awakenings or spiritual senses.
Mm,
So when we have these experiences, and it may even kind of come as a bit of a weird, because she's like, she has this ability to see beyond the veil. She can go in and out of different dimensions this year. And so having a journal or something where she could write down her what she's experiencing, or doing like silent retreats or things like that, spirit having really staying on top of her spiritual practices, whether it's meditation, yoga, um,
mhm.
prayers, reading sacred texts, whatever it is. I would recommend just really maintaining a discipline with that, as well as avoiding suppressing how you feel. So if you feel something, be able to get it out. Even if you don't have to say it, you should be able to write it out or something along those lines.
Yeah, because sevens tend to internalize. But what's interesting, since you have mentioned about her having these intuitive things, don't forget her numbers are exactly like yours, except rearranged. Her numbers are the 7, 2, and 6, where
Yeah,
your numbers are the 2, 7, and 6, and the 3 psychic numbers are the 2, 6, and 7. So
yeah,
there you go.
absolutely,
There you go.
absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna read James, and then we're gonna go to your banner so people can see how to get in touch with you. We're gonna talk about your book and other things. So, what's up with James Stewart?
James is what's that? Scorpio
November 12th.
3.
Yeah,
Okay,
November 12th, 82.
so let me see. Well, just right away, looking at the three energy, this is again, could go back to something with the skin, the feet, the kidneys. um James want to be mindful of overworking. You know, if you on your hustle and your grind, just sometimes it's okay to say, you know what, I don't have to hustle as hard today. Let my body rest a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you're a supervisor, or you're in some kind of position of authority, don't be afraid to delegate. You know, be able to pass off some responsibility. Also, be able to communicate when you need that break.
Okay,
Um,
good.
Another thing I would probably say is work on forgiveness, because the threes can hold on, especially from not communicating. And it's not that they need to forgive other people; they need to forgive themselves for holding on to that energy and abusing on themselves.
Okay. What personal year would you say they're in? I know what personal year I would say they're in, but based on your concepts, what personal year would they be until their birthday this November?
So he's in a one personal year up until his birthday.
Got it.
So it would tell me this could be about some new directions that he's been going in. Maybe could have gotten some kind of promotions or something like that, or rising to the top, or have this desire to rise to the top or to be first. He should watch out for back, the eyes, the blood pressure, the lungs, things of that nature this year. Um, Again, having that sense of balance between work and rest is going to be important for him this year.
Okay, good enough. Good enough. Let us switch over here so we can hold on. Let me do this 1 second. And hold on. And because I want to let people know how they can get in touch with you. All right, there we go at the bottom of the screen. Can you tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
what you're doing? because you got a number of things in the works. So
I
this is
do.
just only partial of what you see on the screen, but this is how you can get in touch with my good buddy and brother, Brandon Smith.
Yeah.
Brandon, hit
Yeah,
it.
so what apart from doing the numerology consultations as an energy medicine practitioner, I've been doing this work now for since 2016, 2017. And when the pandemic had actually launched my business, decided to do it full time. So in terms of doing actual energy work as a business is what I do. So I literally have clients who call for things from headaches, fevers, colds, coughs. I've since COVID, I can't even tell you how many hours of COVID support that I have in terms of working to help people energetically to recover. Um, I'm working with cancer patients, diabetes, all sorts of things. And the beauty about what I do is I'm able to work remotely. So we can with my clients, we're able to hop on a Zoom call. Meditation is included with our services, so we do meditation, we do brief exercise, so that the physical body is able to handle the energy that we do. Um, and then we really just look at how we can create an environment within our body so that it can heal. And I use numerology, I use astrology, I use pranic healing, I use crystals, I use aromatherapy, I use chanting. There's a number of different approaches that I use. I'm certified in NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming. So that deals with like how the subconscious is working, how we communicate with ourselves and things like that. So that's really what it is that I do in terms of services. So if you're looking for an alternative approach to healthcare, or taking your health back into your own hands, reach out to me. My on my website is B-Well Energy Wellness. You can schedule a free initial consult. We'll talk to see what it is that you're looking for.
Now, should they call you at that number, 866?
Yeah, they could call it the number. If they go through the website, it'll actually give them an automatic like Zoom link with my schedule and all of that with
Okay.
the free consultation. So that way, we won't have to do the phone tag, like, okay, when are you good? When are you free? When am I not free? That kind of thing.
Sure,
So if you're
sure.
interested in getting that consult, just go to my website, book a free consult. And then if you want to call, by all means, call me. We'll work out, whatever the case is. If you want to look and follow me on Instagram, BJ Smith 5 is my personal Instagram. You can send me a message on there. My Cash App, please make those dollars fall, please. I'm here in Bermuda. I'd greatly appreciate it. Y'all
No, no.
help me
But
come back
listen,
home.
everybody knows how I feel when we get to the Cash App part, because
Yeah,
you, Brandon, like everybody, Rebels Bay, Simon, I mean, tons of all of y'all that have been on have really stepped out here on faith. And so please just give a donation, man. And I mean, it's not like, you're giving the world, but it helps. Every penny, every dollar really, really counts. So give it to make sure you give it the Cash App, the dollar sign BJ Smith number 5. Don't forget, get the right number, BJ Smith number 5, not 42321, but BJ Smith
absolutely.
number
That's
5.
right.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
like
it.
5 fingers on the hand. So
That's right.
that was good. So anyway,
Yeah.
let's
So
take a
then
couple. Go ahead.
then
What
also
was you
also but
say?
Lord, I'm actually in the process of putting classes together. As you know, I've written a numerology book, thanks to your advice, and the book is doing well in terms of sales. We'll definitely put it up so you can make sure you can go to
Yeah,
Amazon and
in
get it.
fact, let me
But
put that book up right now, if you don't mind. Hold on, because I'm gonna put it this way, here, here, here. Tell us about your book, Brandon.
yeah, so as a minister, when I got into numerology, I mean, it just made perfect sense to me. Other people, whatever their hangups are, those ain't my hangups. But you said to me is, Brandon, you need to write a book. And I was like, Lloyd, let's talk about it. And man, I went home and I was like, what can I write? Lloyd, you've got the encyclopedia of numerology. King Simon, what he's done with his books is just out of this world. I've read some other books that have just been really, really solid,
And
but I
we ain't
didn't.
doing Rebels Bay, okay?
Oh,
But
well,
his
first,
book.
Yeah, I didn't want. I'm not going to put it out there, but I know the brother that wrote the forward for Brother Rebels Bay book, man, and I've seen the it's going to be something. So when Brother Francis drops his book, that is a must have. I mean, it is.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And so based on, our conversations, I thought about what it is that I do as a minister, my context. I'm a church kid, been in church my whole life, been preaching since at 6 years old, really started preaching officially at 12. So I had that's what the book came about, seeing God through numbers, how to make the connection between numerology and scripture, so that way people wouldn't have the concept that I had. I was one of those a few years ago. You couldn't talk to me about numerology, about astrology and psychics and all that. I was one of those, Brother Lloyd. I would start praying like, I don't want their spirit to mess with my spirit. I was one of them.
But you know what made it nice is that you wrote a book dealing with that, and you
Yeah,
said the books are now doing well. And you
yeah.
said, I think you said there since you've been in Bermuda, all your books have been sold out. What books you physically brought there?
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't get the order to come in with me when I came this time, so that means I'm gonna go back to the States. I'm gonna pack another trip and come back to sell some books.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think it's a nice testament to the belief in yourself, okay? To also spread the word, because how we got started was when I asked you when you came here and sat at the table, like, can you name me a war in the name of a zodiac sign? Nobody can name me a war in the name of a zodiac sign. Can
None.
they name me a war in the name of a number? No, 1 through 9, the master numbers, you name it.
Mm-mm.
None of them can. But
Other than the number of dollars that went into their pockets.
thank you. But you took it to a whole nother level. So it's very important that really seriously, for those that are especially spiritually minded, those may even have conflict, whether what we do goes against the laws of God. It does not. Again, as I said, religion is a belief, and what we do are ancient African sciences. There's a big definition, big difference in the definition of the word belief and a science. And these are ancient sciences. But I think to uh, Brandon Smith's credit, he was able to weave it in a way that the most skeptical of religions, even an atheist, would have to agree. Yeah, that's right. So
Yeah.
that's a nice testament to you, Brandon. All righty. So now I know you want to do a meditation as we end, but before we do that, I need to give a sense of what is going on for next week coming up. All righty. So don't go nowhere. I'll be right with you. Let me put it over here. So on Monday the 16th, my guest will be this young lady, Kaya French. She is an astronumerologist, but she is getting more and more into the world of astrology and reaching a high level. She will be my guest on Monday the 16th. On the 18th, I'm going to have my special friend, Paul Chisholm. He is in foods, but it's a relation to food and addictions and things that you would not think about. Well, I tried to get in touch with him to get his picture, but I'll get that later. But in the meantime, this will be my guest. Today will be the last day my class is on sale. You see what the price is originally. You see what it is now on sale until 12 o'clock tonight, unless you live in LA, 3 o'clock in the morning. As you see, I have over 900 reviews. About 96, 97% of them are very positive. I thank them. And as you see, ever since this was established, ever since um, Jackie Levine hooked this up for me, it has been listed in February of 2020 as a bestseller, and here it is over 2 years and change. It is still listed as a bestseller. There's a reason for it. So please take advantage and get it. As you see, get both of them. It's on demand. You go at your own pace, and you go to lloyd-strayhorn.com to sign up for them. It's learn Lloyd-Strayhorn. So for the newbies, it's LLOYD, then dash STRAYHORN, like my name says there.com, and you sign up for the books. And also, while you're there, please sign up for the free. Oh, by the way, and when you finish the course, this is the certification you get. Okay. This is one from 21, but everybody who finishes the course. And by the way, when you enroll in these courses here, you own them. You own them for life. All you got to do is review them. You might start out, knock it all out in 1 week, knock it out in a month or whatever. You go at your own pace. That's the thing. But this is a certification. And while you're at my website, lloyd-strayhorn.com, sign up for the free monthly newsletter. And I will end by saying, running my mouth, that tomorrow, okay, on Clubhouse, I do Learn from Lloyd with Numerology, and I'm going to be focusing on the name. I've been focusing on the birthday. I started actually on February the 17th, every Thursday at 7 on Clubhouse, and I've just been dealing on the birthday, the pinnacles. I've invited guests in to chime on pinnacles, to chime in personal years, so all of it's great. But tomorrow I'm going to be focusing on the name and the power that it does, how much you can tell from somebody's name, a whole lot of information. So now that I got that straight, let me get back to my distinguished guest here. And so we're going to, okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. I'm getting pretty good at this. It took me long enough, though.
No, man. Listen, Brother Lloyd, listen, you're flying through it now.
Yeah. It took me a minute to get through this, but it's still good. A couple of things. You want to take about maybe 2 or 3 more readings so we don't leave people out?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what else? You know what else I want to do? And just in case we didn't get a chance to get to everyone, I'll just run through really quickly what are some of the health indicators of each number, and then if people want to get more information, they can reach out to email me. How about that?
Okay, we'll do 3.
Okay.
Do 3, and then people can reach out to you, because I think what you wanted to do was something a little different, which is in this show with meditation. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. So there we go. So in the meantime, though, we got Sandra Foster Moore, who was born on August the 3rd in Florida.
Okay.
And she says thank you.
Okay, we've got another 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like they make this up, man.
And Brother Lloyd, my daughter's birthdays are tomorrow. She's a 3.
I know. Yeah. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so let me see. She's in a She's in a 7 personal year based on the way that I did it, going into an 8 year.
Mm-hmm.
So what this tells me, firstly, as a 3 person, the 3 deals with the emotional upsets, because look, just how I'm looking at the cycle she's in and the energies of her name, I would be more mindful of emotional upsets, emotional imbalances and things like that this year, worrying, anxiety, things like that. As a general rule, the 3 it rules the skin, the feet, the kidneys. But on an esoteric level, let me just pause this and say this: the skin, when you do healing, energetic healing, and you clean the skin, you're actually able to have a lot of the allergies, issues with the blood and things like that. They start to balance out, because your skin is, like I said, it's that largest organ. With the kidneys, if we're talking about some emotional upsets, the kidneys store a lot of emotional energy. So as you're able to work through the emotional energies, you're able to have that, the body's not going to have to work as hard to get rid of different energies or toxics or whatever the case may be.
Okay, good. Let me see. Here we go. Okay. Here we got Share approves. What would you say about that?
I was just looking at that birthday too.
See, that shows the synergy, how things work.
So she's in a 9 year going to a 1. So this is a time where she might be thinking about bringing some things to an end, or starting a new, especially going towards her birthday, starting maybe some kind of new health regimen, new living plans, new practices, whatever the case may be. The 1, as a general rule, we talked about, it deals with the eyes. I would be mindful of spending a lot of time out in the sun without wearing protective glasses, or sunglasses or something like that, or even on the computer where you have what is it, like those blue light lenses. So I took my glasses off because I think I could see better without them.
Yeah, I
But,
noticed that. I noticed that. Okay, trust me, I noticed that.
but you know what it is, bro, Lord. I realize what it is. I can see better without them because I haven't cleaned them. So
That's funny.
yeah.
That's funny.
So
Okay.
yeah. So I would say definitely watch for the heart, the blood pressure. Just be mindful of diet and things like that. Not overworking. Um, Also, if there's anything about procrastination or maybe low self-esteem, ask those questions of where does this come from? What tells me that this is the most or the best or most useful emotion to respond with in this moment? Because sometimes it will lead you to an answer, and once you get to that answer, you can change that, and then you start activating a more healing energy in your body.
Okay, we got one more, and this is Jilma Rodriguez, excuse me. Grand Night, she says, please do my reading, which is October the 7th. Thank you.
So she is in a 4 personal year, going to a 5 at her birthday. As a 7, deals with anxiety, nervousness. I think the more is more along the lines of having balance. When things are not balanced, this is where she can experience some of those like anxiety or nervous tension. Um, Even to the point where it may disturb her sleep at night, or she might be up worried about, is this thing going to work out, or is this going to be be fine, or something like that. So what I would say is, at the end of the day, do some reflection, and when you finish your reflection, write it down and let it go. Let the journal hold on to that energy and go to sleep at night. And when you wake up in the morning, deal with what you need to deal with in the morning. But try not to allow to carry the energy of what you're dealing with, especially on a mental level. Don't carry that energy with you to sleep, because it can disturb your sleep. This is also a year to watch the mental health. Watch what it is that you're thinking, what you're saying to yourself. Um, if you find yourself kind of like maybe feeling lonely or things like that, it's okay to reach out to people. So this is one of those energies that's going to this year rather, it's going to teach you about how to put some structure to your own healing.
Okay, good, good. So let me do this before you start. I want people to make sure that they know how to get a hold of you, my distinguished friend. Okay, and right there you see Brandon Smith, numerologist, healer, musician, author, and an excellent human being. I vouch for that anyway, any day. The site is b-wellenergywellness.com. His contact number is 866-649-6211. That's 866-649-6211. His ID is BJ Smith 5, and his cash app. I want everybody to send, well, he's a reverend, so reverends be looking for donations up in there. But he does it for the right reasons, because he's got some more work he's got to do. And I mean it sincerely. I mean, I was saying it in a, kind of like a joking way about reverends need money, but his not to get a jet or anything like that, but to continue the work that he does. And his cash app is $BJ Smith number 5. Okay, with that, my friend, I guess it's going to end on you. This is a different note. So, you want to do the meditation?
Yep. I'm gonna do the meditation. One thing I did forget is, if you want to reach me by email, is Brandon at, and then my website, B-Well Energy Wellness. So Brandon at B-Well Energy Wellness. You can always reach out to me by email, and we'll set up. So
Okay,
tonight, so what I want to do for everyone tonight is to take us through a guided meditation. It'll be a healing meditation. If you're driving, keep driving, and like just catch the replay when you get home. Go back, skip to
thank
the end,
you,
and watch
thank you.
the
Yep,
meditation.
definitely.
All right. If you're home and you're comfortable, just kind of sit back and relax. You can close your eyes and give me about 6 minutes. In fact, give me 7 minutes.
Okay, sure, sure.
All right, and close your eyes. You can be aware of your breath. As you inhale, just inhale peace, inhale light. And as you exhale, exhale any stress, any tension from your body. If you have any pain, any discomfort or disease, just focus on that area. Inhale light, a brilliant, luminescent white light. And as you exhale, exhale any stress, any tension. Imagine that there's almost gray smoke coming out of your pores that represents all of the stress leaving your body. Inhale light again. Allow your entire being to be flooded with this divine light, and exhale. Bring your awareness to just above the top of your head. And be aware of a brilliant white light. This white light is now pouring down into your crown, deeply and thoroughly cleansing your crown of any congested energy down to the forehead. Your brain now being deeply and thoroughly cleansed from the front to the back, the sides, and the middle, down to the neck, your forehead, the center of your eyes, behind the eyes, are all being deeply and thoroughly cleansed with this divine healing energy. This energy is now coming down, cleaning your jaws, your temples, your ears, your throat, the arms, your shoulders, are all being deeply and thoroughly cleansed with this divine healing energy. This divine light is going down to your lungs, cleaning the lungs. Any congestion, any negative thoughts, negative emotions. Your heart center is being deeply and thoroughly cleansed. The solar plexus, where the seat of emotions, are being deeply and thoroughly cleansed of any negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative elementals, negative entities, across all time, space, dimensions, and realities. So be it. And right where you are, just say thank you. We are one. Say I am super conductive, super receptive to the healing energy. This divine healing energy is going down into your internal organs. All of your internal organs are now being deeply and thoroughly cleansed with divine healing energy. Your navel, your spine being deeply and thoroughly cleansed. Your arms, your legs, your hips, the base of the spine, your reproductive organs, knees, the soles of your feet. Your entire body is being flushed with this divine healing energy. Just sit back, relax, allow your consciousness to expand, and direct this healing energy into any parts of your body that may need healing. Bring your awareness again to the top of your head. Be aware of an even brighter light. It looks almost as if it's an electric violet or the color of lightning. And this energy is coming down to the brain, the crown, clearing the crown of every negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative programs, negative elementals. The brain is now being deeply and thoroughly cleansed of negative thoughts, negative emotions. The forehead, your third eye, the back of your head. Entire head is now being deeply and thoroughly cleansed. Your throat, any pent-up energies, lack of communication, all being deeply and thoroughly cleansed from the throat. Your heart is being deeply and thoroughly cleansed of negative thoughts, negative emotions. The solar plexus being deeply and thoroughly cleansed from the present and the past and the future. deep and thorough cleansing, including any mental and karmic substances. Your navel, the spine, internal organs, kidneys, adrenals are all being deeply and thoroughly flushed with this divine healing energy of negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative programs. So be it. So be it. The reproductive organs is base of the spine. Your entire body is being flushed and cleansed with this divine healing energy with the help of all the great ones, holy masters, holy saints, holy angels, spiritual helpers and guides, the high aspects of our healing ancestors. So it is. So it is. So be it. And when you're ready, just be aware of your where you are. Begin to wiggle your toes and your feet. Be aware of your breath. And you can open your eyes, feeling better than ever.
Brandon, thank you. Thank you. I tell you, I had to put it on mute because I had some New York City music outside my window, but it made it. So I'm going to see that part when I review this. Okay, this end part, because soon as you went into meditation, then all of a sudden my outdoor neighbors wanted to play their music, so I put it on mute and I just listened. But I'm going to close my eyes and get into the rhythm of it. But God bless you, man. Thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Brother Lloyd.
And
Thank
you
you.
have a nice day. All the best. Enjoy your beautiful daughter's birthday. How old will she be tomorrow?
She'll be 10 years old.
All right, the big 1-0. Okay,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
give her from the Live with Lloyd family our best and happy birthday and all those things. And she's got one of the best dads ever. So, in the meantime, you take good care of yourself. We'll talk soon. And as you progress with some of your other projects, let us know so we can keep the family in the loop here at Live with Lloyd. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you,
All
Brother
right.
Lloyd.
You're welcome, man. So, everybody, I want to thank you. I know Brandon has quite a bit to do. He's in a different time zone. It's like after 9 here, no, after 8 here, but it's after 9 there, where he is in Bermuda. So, out of respect for him, which is the different time zones, which is why an astrologer needs to know what time and where, especially were you born, because of those very things. So, anyway, I want to let everybody know I enjoyed this. Let me get ready to sign off. Everybody, have a nice week. And don't forget, my special guest this coming Monday will be Kaya French. Okay. And so she'll be joining us on Monday. I have a very special friend that I've been knowing since, as they can say back in the day, who is a nutritionalist about food and how they can be of help to you. In the meantime, everybody, do take advantage of this last day of my online course on sale. This is the certification you will get. Go to lloyd-strayhorn.com to sign up for the course, lloyd-strayhorn.com. And this is the newsletter also. It's absolutely free. So when you get to that site, sign up is free, enroll for the course, and become a better person spiritually, metaphysically, and everything. And of course, tomorrow, join me on my Clubhouse, where I'm going to be talking about the power of your name more than you can ever imagine. But in the meantime, folks, let me see this. Here we go. In the meantime, folks, y'all have a blessed day, and I will see you Monday. Okay? Bye.